And I think it's fair to say that the Saudis have said that they are, of course, very much committed towards moving to a greener economy, a more sustainable economy, particularly people think in this context of the carbon-sourced energy. And at the same time, there have been some criticisms from Saudi politicians of the sort of whole energy policy of particularly what I might call, for want of use of a better term, the Western world. I was just wondering how you would comment on that.
Yeah, sure. So Saudi Arabia managed to do a big shift in its energy strategy, I would say. Riyadh is working to become the global hub of clean energy in the world by investing massively in green hydrogen, solar and wind energy, etc. The kingdom has also initiated an initiative that is called Green Middle East Initiative, which aims to plant more than 40 billion trees in the Middle East, 25% of which in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia itself, 10 billion trees. So transitioning to clean energy, I think, should never be at the expense of your current hydrocarbon industry. That's the kind of thing Saudi Arabia wants to deliver to the Western world. So the world population, as we all know, reached right now 8 billion people, and energy demand will increase, not decrease. So that's why rationality and pragmatism should be applied rather than idealism and wishful thinking. So Saudi Arabia, through its climate envoy, Minister Adel Al-Jubeir, urged Europe and the West to be more rational in the way they handle the energy transition from the hydrocarbon to the clean one. Because you can't simply fight oil while you are burning coal and cutting trees. So all what we are asking for is to be strategic and proactive rather than short-sighted and reactive.
Yes, well, I think we can all agree that that's a much more sensible policy. Now, the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is, of course, a very well-known figure throughout the world. In some parts of the world, he's viewed with a certain amount of controversy, and yet I understand he's actually very, very popular, or becoming increasingly popular, in the Arab and I suppose the wider Muslim world. There's even talk about sort of MBS sort of mania, in the way that people might have talked 60 years ago about Beatlemania, probably not quite to the same extent. But I was wondering, can he become, or is he already, a real leader of the Arab world? And can his leadership extend beyond the Arab world into the wider Muslim world? And if so, what effect that's likely to have on the relationship between the West and the Middle East?
Yeah, actually you said it right. I think it's not something that's going to happen. We are seeing it already. The Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is a leader with a vision that has achieved a lot of success for Saudi Arabia and the region. Vision 2030, which was launched by His Highness, is only 6 years old, from 2016 till 2021, resulted in doubling the assets of the Saudi public investments. And non-oil revenues doubled. The number of factories increased by 40% in Saudi Arabia just in 6 years. In digital competitiveness, Saudi Arabia became the #1 country in the G20 nations. For example, like when we speak about digital competitiveness, we are speaking of things that are related to day-to-day practices in the kingdom. So Saudis are 3 clicks away to renew their passports, and they can pretty much do all their government-related paperwork online. So Saudi Arabia is setting an example of governance and of e-government in the region. And Saudi Arabia also ranked the first in the world in government trust by 2020 by Edelman Institution in the United States. In addition to also definitely empowering women and granting them all their rights in all aspects. And in addition to so many reforms that made by Prince Mohammed bin Salman, he's basically an icon for not only the peoples of Saudi Arabia, but the wider region as well.